Okay. All right. So, want to ask, and you can each respond to this if you would. This is from President Trump today, saying it's time for Republicans to do what they have to do, and that's terminate the filibuster. Trump said it's the only way you can do it. And if you don't terminate the filibuster, you'll be in bad shape. We won't pass any legislation. Your reaction to that from the president today?
Well, I'm happy to jump in right away. I bet you General Bergman's the same as I am. The president's extremely frustrated. We're on day 36 of a ridiculous, needless shutdown that is not only delaying the Trump agenda that 77 million people voted for a year ago today, but it's also hurting a lot of people, air traffic controllers, border and customs and border patrol, Capitol Police. I mean, the list goes on and on. And now 42 million low-income Americans that rely on SNAP, women and children that rely on WIC benefits, Head Start benefits. The president's just extremely frustrated. He's right about one thing. This needs to end now so we can get it moving.
You know, it seems like forever ago that we did our job here in the House and passed a clean CR and sent it to the Senate. The ball is in their court. We know that we, as the legislative branch, the House and the Senate, have to do our jobs. We in the House and the Republican side did our job, a clean CR that allowed us, had the Senate chosen to pass it, to continue to negotiate here for a couple of months. One thing, you can waste time and money. With money, you can regain financial health with a little bit of luck and perseverance. But once you waste a moment in time, it's gone. The other side, the Democrats have chosen to hold the American people, that tax-paying family with little kids who in so many cases legitimately benefit from programs like SNAP, like Head Start, all of those different things. The Democrats are holding them hostage for whatever reason. And of course, the president's frustrated, but the Senate still has to do its job.
So there's been a lot of speculation that once the election took place, then there would be talks and we would get this done, perhaps this week, perhaps today. Have you seen any indication that now the Democrats are willing to talk and perhaps end this shutdown?
No. To be perfectly blunt, I believed that they were going to move to open the government. They still could. There's some that, you got two senators in Michigan, Slotkin and Peters. Slotkin showed no remorse whatsoever about what's happening. Peters seems to be inclined to want to talk about how they get out of the shutdown, but they're not doing anything. And Jack, I actually thought that after the election yesterday, the outcome is pretty much what we expected, with the exception that the Attorney General in Virginia, who actually called for the murder of his opponent and his wife and children in front of him, I never thought that guy would get elected. But it's disgusting and sad he did get elected. Other than that, the elections turned out the way we kind of expected. So I thought that they would come in today and start moving. And frankly, we haven't seen anything yet today.
Yeah, and to piggyback on Whip Emmer's comment, we have two senators in Michigan, since your viewers are Michiganders.
Yeah.
They could lead rather than blindly follow clueless leadership over there on the Democrat side. They could lead. I mean, Senator Peters is leaving. He's retiring. He should be thinking about what he can do for all of the constituents of Michigan before he walks out the door. And Senator Slotkin's going to be there for quite a while. So it's her opportunity to lead a moderate, liberal, left, but liberal, not leftist Senate over there. She's got a chance to lead. She needs to step up.
Let's talk a little bit about the election. We are asking a question today on our websites and a bunch of our stations with our company. And the question is, do you think national Democrats will embrace socialism following Mandami's win yesterday?
I think they already have. I think they have ceded their party to Mandami the Commie, as he's known. This is a Marxist, and Marxism has never worked anywhere around the world. In fact, our speaker was talking this morning about how it has cost more lives even in the 20th century because it's such a failed experiment. I would say anybody who's watching this, if you want to know the truth about it, read a book from World War II written by an Austrian economist named Hayek called The Road to Serfdom. That was a book that he was writing to his intellectual elite, political elite buddies, telling them why this socialist Marxist form of government does not work. You know, the good news about the election, which I'm not proud of it, but it's going to give us a great opportunity, Jack, over the next couple of years or the next year for sure, going into 26 elections, to give people the view of free enterprise America versus Marxist policies that this Mamdani and company are going to start, you know, government-owned grocery stores. I don't know what he means by free buses. I imagine they'll be spotless clean, Jack, and they'll have wonderful government employees working in all these places.
And probably people living in them too. But as Whip Emmer talked about as far as Marxism, Marx was a theorist. We got to study history. Lenin was the first one a century ago that really put it into practice. But then Stalin said, those theories aren't working. I think I'll just kill a few million people. That's what Marxism to communism to socialism is, just a nice way to say you're going to be owned by the government.
Last quick question here, and you've kind of answered it, but are you concerned about last night? It was a good night for Democrats, and is this something that could lead into the midterms? Are you cautious about this? Or are you concerned about this?
Well, you should always be looking at all these, but let's be realistic. The national news media is always going to paint this as a bellwether. Oh, look, Democrats won where Democrats were expected to win. I mean, think about this. Virginia, Trump didn't win Virginia. Trump didn't win New York. He didn't win New Jersey. These aren't swing districts. You know what I look at? And Jack knows I do the campaign side of it. I look at the island, Long Island in New York, that has been a Democrat bastion up until recently. Donald Trump has transformed the island. There are 2 congressional seats. The 3rd congressional seat represented by a Democrat named Tom Suozzi, and the 4th that was the most difficult race in the country for Republicans when Anthony D'Esposito lost in the last election. Guess what? A Nassau County executive, Bruce Bakeberg, was elected last night overwhelmingly by the 2 million people in Nassau County. Nassau County, by the way, 100% of the 4th district is in it. 75% of the 3rd district is in it. Bruce Bakeberg's numbers jumped 11 points from his last election. So before we start writing stories about blue states where they had blue victories that were all expected, people should look under the hood. We like where we're at right now for the midterms in 26.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And as we know, Michigan is going to be in play because we've got a governor's race, we've got another Senate race, the 2 big statewide races. But Michiganders are waking up to the fact that the promises made were not the promises kept by the Governor Whitmer and her regime over this time. So we just need to make sure that the people of Michigan understand their responsibility to vote, because we got Veterans Day coming up here in a few days. And I really don't care who you vote for. Well, I do. But by golly, if you want to get me excited about you negatively, tell me you didn't vote and you were eligible to vote. So we need our Michiganders to step up, and they know what's right for Michigan. And it means more economy. It means more of everything that we earn ourselves, not more of what the government promises it's going to give us.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time this afternoon.
Great.
Hey, thanks.
Take care.